This is going to be an unscripted video, where I want to talk about some characters that I am very much looking forward to in all the Lawl spin-offs that I happen to be a fan of. As we all know, the future of Lawl looks very bright, and there are so many potential future characters that I am extremely hyped for when they eventually come out. Let's just get into the list. I currently have a video under works about series that have no reps in Lawl. And this series was for the longest time, they had zero representation despite the fact it was one of the biggest franchises that was known on the internet. I'm talking about Shrek. Shrek has been an empty slot stable for God knows how long. And the only time Shrek has won an empty slot is Retold Shrek in a Smash Bros. Lawl thing. So let us talk about one of the most interesting recent additions to Lawl. I'm of course talking about Big Jack Horner from Lawl Warriors. I haven't seen Puss in Boots 2, but I have heard it's one of the few great animated movies to come out in 2020s. And Big Jack Horner has popularized the idea of villains who are evil for the sake of evil, bringing it to a new generation of fans. And Big Jack Horner is definitely an absolute legend, and easily the character I am most hyped for Lawl Warriors. And with recent Lawl Warriors set that come out, that is still a spoiler as we are currently talking, I want to really see what Shrekless has in store for Big Jack Horner. I really want to see it, because I know that this guy has got a lot of aces up his sleeves as well as some mimetic lines. You know, when it comes to icons, there are certain series that just never seem to catch a break. We have Swedish Chef planned for LOL Starstruck, but that never happened. Then there was Wilkins, who still is yet to be made, even after El Neo rebooted it to Super Crack Bros. But now we have, in the future of LOL Nova, we have Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog is just an icon. He's an internet legend, just like Shrek. I do believe that Scapocon will do a great job representing him, as well as thousands and thousands of hours of material that exist of him. I mean, Kermit is easily like the most iconic Muppet there is, and seeing him represented in Lawl is definitely something that is desperately needed in these days. Kermit could have so many possible moves, and he already has the Muppet Show stage, and God knows what he is going to do. I really love the idea that he is the rival of Joel because of all the jokes about Kermit being Joel's dad or something. So either way, we have high hopes for Kermit's presence in LOL Nova. And I mean, Arsete is pretty cool too. This next one is the character I am actually on this list looking most forward to talking about. Because this character is a massive mystery and I love it. Lonely Jupiter debuted in earlier this year, but it had it's gone through already one reboot. While I liked Ethan C. Skug's moveset, the Ness Jason's moveset was kind of But then they announced a very, very interesting character, Lawl. Yes, Lawl. Like I said, we know nothing about Lawl. We don't know what he represents. Obviously he represents Lawl, but what aspects of it? Will he use famous Lawl inside jokes in his moveset? Is he going to be referencing some famous movesets or community cliches? One thing direction I am hoping the Lawl does not go into is the most average Law moveset. Like if you put every single lawful moveset in a blender, you get Law like ha ha ha. That's not really what I want. I want deep cuts. I want references. While a character like Lawl wouldn't really work in bigger Lawls, I still am very much excited to see what Lawl Jupiter has in store for him. As long as it's not like a community satire or there is a reference to
Women's Valley or anything like that.
For the longest time in Hammerman's polls, there has been a character that has been very peculiar. Commercial Warrior. And now we finally got Commercial Warrior in Lawl Tuga. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but anyways, Lawl Tuga finally brought Commercial Warrior into its official lineup, and I love the fact that he is ahead. I mean, the Commercial Warrior we had a full body and such, but I like the idea more because that original Obey Wario, Destroy Mario commercial is so iconic, might as well make him a floating head. There are other characters I am very high for, like the young Steven Universe and Peridot, but Commercial Wario is just an anomaly, a character that hasn't really been done before. Of course, there is a character in that Lawl who I am even more hyped for than Commercial Wario, but they are a silhouette for now, so I won't be talking about them. You know, when this character was at first announced for Lawl Mad, I was like, how can you do this? What is the point of this? But I trust in P-Star's work ethics, and I think that Best Leo might actually be the weirdest yet the most intriguing character in Lawl yet. I mean, this is the same Lawl with Mormon Jesus. I can see Best Leo working out pretty well, especially since he's from an old infamous animation. I was actually made familiar with this animation before the cameo that happened in Feet Lighters. I remember the old Annotation Station channel actually annotated this short, and this face from Dorothy became a meme.
Because it looks like a glow up doll.
The whole thing is just the weirdest and the most ugliest thing I have ever seen. I have a soft spot for really terrible cartoons from the past, and he's not kind of out of place because, I mean, much like Mormon Jesus, he is mostly known to the community from his cameo from Feet Lighters. So I think that he definitely fits into this roster. I am on, and honestly I can see Lawl Mad having even more hype characters, especially when they announce the empty slot winners. Let's talk about Lawl Encore. You know, Lawl Encore has it's hard for me to keep track of all the characters that exist in Lawl Encore sometimes, but if there is one character that I am especially looking forward to, it's Sam and Max. I can't wait to see what Plums has in store for our favorite gay police couple. I really would love to see just how many different things Plums is going to use. Are they going to use... it's obvious their designs are based on the Telltale games, but will they also use any stuff from the cartoon or the original LucasArts game, or even the comics, or even that new VR game nobody talks about? But I do believe that even with the Telltale games being represented, I think you could get really good solid sets out of them that represent them well. And I can see them being like a tag team character, like Max having his own set of moves and Sam having his own set of moves. I know I haven't discussed playstyles in any of my rankings so far, but I do believe that the playstyle could actually lead to some extremely unique combinations, and Plums happens to be very good at figuring out those playstyles. Sam is probably type of guy who keeps the opponents at bay, so to speak, or basically he weakens their tactics and defense mechanisms and possibly breaks their zones, and then Max can come in and basically brutalize the opponent with his wacky Lagomorph style.
That's the. I really can't.
But I do believe that even if they are separate, they are very synergetic in their playstyle, so to speak. So you basically you can't fight one with one character without the other. Basically, that's what I'm saying. And I also want to see that maybe how every tag team character and such is like sitting on the background, at least in the case of Panty and Stocky. It would be nice if with Sam and Max, like Sam and Max would be sitting on the tables from the poker game at inventory or something like that. That would be very nice. At number 2 we have a character who wouldn't be here otherwise, but because of the LOL beatdown lore, this character has a ton of anticipation behind them. I am talking about Dio. Dio has been set up as the main villain of LOL beatdown since he first appeared. Well, I mean, he's probably I can't really say if he's the main villain of the lore or just the villain for these first few eras. Like, who knows, but he's definitely a powerful foe who has very talented and very dangerous characters on his side, and Mrs. Mavilda. But seeing him get his own lore segments is certainly really exciting, and I am also excited to see just what kind of a moveset he has. I am not a JoJo fan. I'm not really a JoJo fan. I think some JoJo fans are cringe, and some of the references people make to JoJo can be kind of cringe as well. But I think that this is still a very exciting moveset, and much like Koichi in LOL Nova, I think Dio could provide some very good and interesting playstyles to LOL beatdown, but honestly I am way more excited to see the lore, and if very certain long questions about the LOL beatdown's lore will be answered, he said, or if it will basically be like a sort of a game changer, like the new era comes, and possibly maybe it will. I don't know if Dio's moveset will happen before or after when the empty slot winners are revealed. So, but if it comes after second empty slot winners, that makes Dio even more hype. God knows what he can do. And finally, at number 1, we don't have just one character or 2 characters or 3 characters. We have an entire roster. LOL Retro's entire roster is probably the greatest starting lineup I have seen since the original LOL Zero. We have several characters I am very familiar with, and even the ones who I am not familiar with, like Bo and webcomic Mario and this Shadow character, I am still very excited. And you've got Coconuts, who has been needing a moveset for a long while and is the perfect starting material character for this LOL. We've got Blooper, the Scooper.
When did I say?
And then we've got Roy the Rooster, and I have been waiting for a USA Acres representation. US Acres did nothing wrong, deal with it. And then we've got Burgermeister Burger, who is very hype character, because if there's one thing that's the best part about ranking pass specials, it's the villains. And honestly, Santa Claus Is Coming to Town is probably the best ranking pass special of all time, in my opinion. If there's any character I happen to forget, I don't think. Oh yeah, Anime Diddy is also there. He is another character that has been needing a moveset for a long time. When he was announced, he was supposed to be in LOL meta, and I believe he's the last character in this roster that's yet to be made in a modern LOL, finally realized fully. So yeah, I am excited to see what LOL Retro has to offer. Johtoboy is already very helpful part of Throw Some LOL C's crew, and I can't wait to see what he has to show on a LOL of his own. And I know that we did see a small peak of coconuts in the... Oh, it seems that the Epic King's moveset has stopped in the spoiler territory as of the recording of this second part of the video, so... But either way, Lawl Retro will probably be my most hyped LOL of all time, and I cannot wait for it. Either way, here are some honorable mentions before we close off the video. Aragorn from LOL Beyond, Wilkins from Super Crack Bros, Audrey 2 from LOL Encore, Paper Mario for LOL Cross Up, and the Totally Spies for LOL Assault. That will be all.